Welcome back, guys. A very quick tutorial on the difference between active transport and passive transport. Membrane transport is a very important process with which cell membrane cell can uptake certain molecules from outside and also can release some other toxic materials outside. Now there are two major types of transport out here, active transport, another one is the passive transport. Now what is the difference? In passive transport is simply a form of diffusion. Diffusion means molecule tends to go from high concentration to the low concentration gradient. So here they are moving, molecules are moving down the concentration gradient from high to low. This is known as a passive transport. While in active transport, the molecules are moving against the concentration gradient from low concentration to the high concentration. So as in passive transport, it's just the diffusion moving from high to low down the concentration gradient. They don't need any sense or any sorts of energy. So this is energyless. While in active transport, as the molecules are moving from low concentration gradient towards the high concentration gradient, they require energy source and energy in form of ATP hydrolysis. Now in case of passive transport, down the gradient, right, form of diffusion. Now the diffusion can be of two different types. Certain molecules are present which can easily diffuse through the plasma membrane. As you know, plasma membrane is a bilayer which is made with phospholipid molecules, where the phosphor heads are present surrounding and they are facing all the water and hydrophilic layers, while the hydrophobic region of those lipid molecules are present inside, where certain molecules, certain hydrophilic molecules cannot pass, and also some very small molecules can easily diffuse without the help of any membrane protein. So the passive diffusion can happen without the help of any membrane protein. Example is oxygen, carbon dioxide. These gases can easily pass through the cell membrane without any source or help of any protein, any membrane protein. Okay, while in the other hand, they can require certain membrane proteins to help them in some cases, in some molecules. For example, ions, sodium ion, calcium ion, potassium ion, they require channel proteins or certain type of membrane proteins to be present who will help those molecules to be passed, though they will go from down above, from high concentration to low concentration down the concentration gradient, but still they require a channel created by a hydrophilic layer of proteins through which the molecule can pass. In case of active transport, as they are going against the concentration gradient, they must require membrane proteins, specially designed membrane proteins which can interact with ATP. So ATP binding site containing membrane proteins there in the membrane to function properly, where there are different regions, ATP binding site and channels through which different molecules can enter or get out of the cell. So this in a sense is the difference between passive transport and active transport. And another thing about active transport is that sometimes it requires direct energy, or sometimes they have very complicated membrane proteins through which multiple molecules can pass and come at the same time, and we call them uniport or co-transport. Okay, uniport means two molecules can pass through using a same channel protein, so using a same carrier protein, we call it uniport. And antiport means two molecules are passing in the opposite direction. Okay, so these things are present in the active transport, which is not found in the passive mode of transport. So example of active transport is movement of sodium outside the cell and potassium inside the cell at the same time with an antiport protein that is present there, known as sodium potassium ATPase pump. Okay, this is the example between and the difference between passive transport and active transport, and both of the transport are equally important and required in different processes of cell to uptake and release molecules inside and outside, and that's why it's very important to learn them both. So that's it, guys, and I hope you enjoyed this. If you like this video, please hit the like button, subscribe to my channel to get more videos like that. Thank you.